You went to fight against Hamas on October 8th, a day after the terror attacks 2 years ago. And so tell us from your perspective what it was like to watch these reunions of the hostages being reunited with their families.
Yes, it was an unbelievable experience. It was just so joyful. I was standing at the hostage square in Tel Aviv, where thousands and tens of thousands of Israelis were gathering together with Israeli flags and a lot of American flags. And we were just all in awe and joy. Um, the highlight for me was when they announced that there are no live hostages anymore by Hamas, and I just got all teary. As you said, I've been through some stuff in the military. I've been a reservist for nearly 20 years, fought in Lebanon and Gaza. I've had men and best friends die in my hands, and I didn't get so emotional as I did yesterday.
Shraga, that's really an interesting perspective because we don't talk that often about the IDF soldiers and all that they've sacrificed and all they've seen. I think that the impression is that you guys are so strong and so tough that we don't often hear about it. What do you think the toll has been like for these 2 years on the soldiers that you served with?
Yeah, it's been a very high toll on not only the soldiers. We're talking about an army that's a people army of reservists that all have other professions and other jobs. And none of us
Check
wished
it
for
here.
this war. This war was forced on us, and we
Check
all
it
left our
this.
lives, our jobs, our families, our kids, and went out to fight. So the toll is on the soldiers themselves that were never motivated. None of us were never motivated by
Go for you.
hate of the Palestinian
Okay.
people, but
Clarify.
of love to life, to our people, to protect with those hostages in mind all the time. So I can't even describe how joyful it was to see them reuniting, especially on the front lines where we saw the price that it had on getting them back.
And
So
Shraga,
very
I mean,
great.
that is such an important point that you're making about that, how it's an army of primarily reservists. On that day that you decided to leave Chicago to go to Israel and fight, just tell us a little bit about what happened that day and your thought process.
Yeah, it didn't take much. It was October 7th, Saturday morning, and I woke up and opened my phone and I saw all the messages of everything going on. And I understood that there's only one place I need to be there in the moment. I got into an Uber, and within 30 minutes from waking up, I was on my way to O'Hare Airport, from there to New York, and made my way to Israel, landing on the 8th, on Sunday the 8th. As you said, I'm a major. I have 500 soldiers. One of my men waited for me at the airport while the rest of them were already deployed to the town of Sderot. And that evening, I was already in a fire exchange in Sderot, driving down and seeing the devastation of the terrible, terrible attack that we had in the south of Israel. And on Sunday, I witnessed it. It was still going on. Cars were still burnt on the sides of the roads, bodies were hanging out of them, and terrorists were running around when the IDF was trying to gain control back. So it's been a long 2 years. We've been through a lot as a nation, and we're very, very grateful and happy that this war is over. But it is also a little bittersweet. Our minds and hearts are still with those families that don't have their loved ones yet, and we're really hoping that all the bodies return back and to their families and deserve the dignity and the honor of a proper burial, and for those families to have a closure.
Absolutely. And so, Shraga, obviously the challenge now is how to preserve this peace deal. Do you feel more hopeful this time than I mean, this has obviously been going on for decades, than in previous peace deals?
Mm. On a personal level, I would say that I got a good lesson of believing and keeping hopeful, because along these 2 years, again and again, I felt like we're never going to see some of these hostages again. And yesterday was a real lesson of staying hopeful and optimistic. I think it feels in Israel, with a lot of people that I talk to, that this time is different. I think Israel, since its inception in 48, and Israel always reached out for peace to its neighbors. It feels like many times in different wars, the U.S. took the role of peacemaker, And when you make peace, you have to make peace through strength and whatnot. It feels now, especially with the strong message that came out of Sharm el-Sheikh last night, it feels like the U.S. foreign policy is about peace building now, not only peacemaking, but aligning the interests in the region, the Abraham Accords, bringing more people on board and making the incentive of the region working together. And I think in Israel, many, many people are very hopeful, and we're waiting to see that. We're waiting to see a prosperous region with neighbors that choose life as we do, and choose the incentives of the Western world in being part of building a great region.
Well, that would be wonderful. Shraga Stern, thank you so much for sharing your very personal experience and perspective with us. It's great to have.